Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Friday the 7th of June. Well, a disappointing day on Thursday. I believe one placed. So let me get straight on to Friday's bets. So I've picked 6 selections, so I've had them in a 10 pence each way, lucky 63. But what I've actually decided to do is I've had 2 5 pence each way, lucky 63s. One of the 5 pence each way lucky 63s, I've taken all the prices. Then I've selected all the horses. Well, I've reused all the selections again. And then the second time around, I've clicked all the prices and left them to SP. So let me get into it. So I've been looking at these selections and I'm going to try and remember why that I picked them. I fancy all of them, obviously. So let me get into it. So the first selection is Beat the Edge at 12 to 1 in the 18 minutes past 2 race at Market Rasen, paying 5 places instead of 3. Timmy Easterby is absolutely flying. I normally say keep away from his horses up till about June time, but he's had a really good start to the season. Well, this is at Market Rasen, so I'm take it a bit as though, fingers crossed, that the form of his flat horses kind of like reciprocates or is reciprocated by his National Hunt flat horses as well. Like it rubs off on them, kind of thing. Because this horse is extremely well handicapped. However, as described in the Racing Post, it can be a little bit of a weak finisher. But I think that it's been run over shorter, and I don't think it wants shorter. I just think it's been used up too much. And they say stamina kicks in, but it doesn't if you're, pardon the language, blowing out your backside because you're running over a trip that's too short. So I think the step up in trip, yes, don't get me wrong, I know it ran over 2 mile 5 last time, but there may be excuses. So I think if we give it another chance, 12 to 1's a big enough price, and I'm happy with that. Sorry, Valentino Lee, this is dragging on already. So the second selection is Angel of England. Stingy price at 5 to 1. That's kind of what alerted me to put the next bet to SP. In the 8 minutes past 3 race at Thirsk, paying 4 places instead of 3. Big drop in class for this horse. It's drawn high. It's Edward Bethel. I think it's a decent trainer. I think they're probably a bit scared of this stable because I've seen a number of horses like up north a bit cautious with the price. I'm not saying it won't drift. I'm not saying it won't triple in price. But the early prices I've seen a lot of the time, Edward Bethel horses or Ed Bethel horses, Sky Bet especially, who I normally bet with, have been overly cautious. Don't get me wrong, it could open 6 to 4 favourite and maybe they weren't cautious, but I think it's got a good chance. Its first run was a decent run. Last time was a bit disappointing, but big drop in class. And I think it's you generally, and including last year, you want to be drawn high numbers generally on the straight course. So that's 5 and 6 furlong. I'm not sure if it's at 7 plus as well, but I think I've just gone for the 2 6 furlong races. Anyway, forget that. Third race is Dream Deal at 13 to 2 in the 440 at Thirsk, paying 5 places instead of 3. I think this is trained by Danny. Is it Danny Brock or Danny Brook? It had a cracking run last time. It's ran once at Thirsk, but it didn't run great. But it was gradually running to form last year, and Thirsk was pretty much the last time it ran poorly. And then after that, it ran well. So maybe it just they caught it on an off day. But Dream Deal ran an absolute cracker last time. I think it was at Nottingham when it pressed the lead throughout. Well, it's drawn high, and I think it could do the same again. And I think it's got a good chance. The fourth selection is My Harrison George at 9 to 2 in the 528 at Haydock, paying 4 places instead of 3. I think this has got a cracking chance. It was going to be me kind of nap, but I kind of like quite a few selections for different reasons. The only problem with this is that I can never get Richard Fahey at the right time. Decent trainer, probably the best jockey in the race, well handicapped, running into a little bit of form. If you like to pick your own selection and just like somebody else's opinion, what I would say is I couldn't put you off any of the Easterby horses. Now I'm on about the Easterby family horses, and I'm talking about every horse in this race that is trained by the surname Easterby. I think they've all got chances, but I do fancy this one. If this My Harrison George runs its race by Richard Foy, I think it's got a very good chance of winning. You've got Unplugged that ran a stinker at Pontefract last time. That horse won the race last year. I can't fancy it this year, but it's Easterby, and it means nothing the fact that it did nothing last time. I think the second in the race last year was trained by Archie Watson, and has currently got the favourite in this race. Also ridden by Brodie Hampson, as she rode his horse last year as well. It could be very well handicapped, but it's not a horse I'm really looking at. I think it was like 3-1 favourite when I look, but I do like this horse, My Harrison George, and I think it's got a good chance. The fifth selection is Vince Lombardi at 14-1 in the 8:58. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the 6:58 at Haydock, paying 5 places instead of 4. Right, I like the look of this one. This is drawn slightly on the higher side. I'm going to forget who trains it. I think it's the Kublers. Well, I think it's relatively well handicapped. And to be fair, I've kind of forgot why I picked it, but this was probably in my top 3 of out of the 6 that I'd fancied of like an interesting angle. I think it's well handicapped. I don't think it's the best of races, and I think there's more to come from this horse. And the final selection is Asimov at 11-1 in the 8:38 at Haydock, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse, as a 2-year-old, was campaigned once over 7 furlongs and then a mile, and then it was put away for this year. It's ran a few times already, but over a mile. For me, anything that runs over 7 furlongs and a mile as a 2-year-old and is bred to one further than that, but is still campaigned over a mile as a 3-year-old, and now it's stepped up in distance, I think it's been crying out for this step up. And I think it will really benefit from it. I thought this horse would probably be 16 or 20-1. So maybe it's just because it's the early prices, but there are a few big stables in there. So this horse may only just sneak a place, but I think it's well treated. It will like the step up in trip, and I think it's got a decent chance. Is tomorrow the day? I don't know. It's probably one of the more competitive races it's been in, but I think it's got a chance. So these are the selections for Friday. If you're still here, give me a like or a subscribe if you will, please. I really appreciate all the extra views I've been getting recently. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.